As if I have not said this enough already, if you hear any background noise coming in, I do have both my front window and side window open. My fucking neighbors in the front are trying to build a pool. It's trash day, so I will try to block out and keep talking throughout the noise, the noise, and if not, then I will probably be doing a voiceover in some parts, but trust me, I am trying to do as much as possible. It is about 1,000 degrees outside, so I can't close my windows. But yeah, let's just get started, I guess. If you haven't noticed already, I did start off with my eyebrows and eyeshadow base already done, so I'm just going to jump right in and go ahead and get started. I'm going to use the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia, obviously, and I have been obsessed with this palette ever since I purchased it. I did talk about it on Tuesday on my favorites, and it's not going away anytime soon. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into Raw Sienna with the fluffy brush. This is just one that came in the Smashbox eyeshadow palette, and it's one of my favorite blending brushes as of right now. So what I'm going to do is take this not into the crease, but right above the crease so it looks more blown out. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend this all into that. Hopefully you guys could see, but... Next thing I'm going to do is take this burnt orange shade right here and take it on the brush that came with this eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to go ahead and take this directly into the crease and deepen that up. The reason why I'm adding two different shades onto the crease area is because it will make it a whole lot easier to blend out. So by doing this, I will just get a deeper shade, but yet at the same time I will cut myself some time with blending. If you see here, it's not really blended. So what you want to do is take the first brush that you applied the eyeshadow with and blend them out together, and it will just create a good blown out eye. Once you have that blended out as blended as it's gonna get, the next thing I'm gonna do is take the color Love Letter, which is just like a reddish shade, I guess. I'm not good at explaining shade colors, so don't expect me to do that. So I'm just going to take another clean, fluffy brush. This is from another palette in the same Anastasia brush. And what I'm going to do is take this directly on top where we took the color Burnt Orange, but I'm not going to take it as high either. So each shade you apply, you want to blend it out, but not go higher than the color you applied before that, if that makes any sense. So I'm just taking this a little bit below the crease and blending it outward and up, but not going higher than the burnt orange shade. And if you want, you could go ahead and add more color. I start off with a little bit color at a time just because I don't want to be stuck blending and reapplying shadows over and over. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit at a time. Moving on to the next eyeshadow, I'm going to take the color Venetian Red. I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and then I'm going to apply it a little bit under that Love Letter color, but I'm going to keep it not so blended out as far up as I did. This shade is a little bit brighter than Love Letter, at least I think that's what it is. So what I'm going to do is just keep it directly almost on the crease, but blending it downwards into the lid. I'm gonna take a little bit more, do the same thing. The reason why I'm adding it a little bit to the lid instead of going upward is because I don't want the brown to be like just like a one-dimensional brown. I actually want it to have some redness in there, so that's why I'm blending it downwards and a little bit upward, but mainly in a downward motion, if that makes any sense. Okay, now, last but not least, I'm going to take the color Cypress Umber on a smaller shader brush, and I'm going to pack this color on, and then I'm going to pat it into my lid. And then I'm going to kind of take it up into the red eyeshadow that I just applied and blend it in, and then if I notice that this red right here gets covered up by the brown, I'm going to go back in with the red Venetian Red and blend it all in together. Okay, so I'm gonna lay off the eyes a little bit because I do want to do my foundation before I actually finish. So what I did was take a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me Smooth and Dewy foundation and added 4 drops of the Hard Candy Pigment makeup drops. Yes, I still use these. I get constantly asked if I still use them. The answer is yes. They have easily become my favorite thing. So they are always mixed in with my foundation. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it up right here, the back of my hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and dot this all over my face. Before I started my foundation, I did apply already my primer, so I am good to go. All right, so I am done blending out, as blended as I think I could get, and then I'm gonna take my concealer, and this is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Corrector and Concealer in the color Light Medium. And what I'm gonna do is take this on the bottom of my eye in a triangle upper motion. If you hear people talking, I think my neighbors are arguing. They always like to argue during the daytime, so excuse that. I'm gonna take it a little bit on my chin, the upper area of my lip, the forehead, and I know I said I hated this step because I saw no actual difference in it, but I kind of got used to it. So what I'm gonna do is take it down the bridge of my nose and try to make it as straight as possible. And once again, I'm gonna blend this out. Okay, so I was gonna do a talk through in this part, but I guess I couldn't because everybody decided to make noise and whatnot. But I'm just taking a damp beauty sponge that I found at Ulta, and I really like this sponge to blend out my concealer because it has one side that's really pointed and the other side is flat. So it's a really good sponge to help you blend everything out. You could probably even use it for your foundation, but it is so tiny, so I prefer it for under the eyes. To set the concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with airspun powder, and if you don't have this powder, don't worry. Just buy a cheap powder that's lighter than your actual skin tone and go ahead and use that. It will give you the same effect, just with not all the cakiness and heavy feeling under the eyes. So I let the powder sit on my face for a good 2 minutes. I don't like going further than 2 minutes just because I do have dry skin and a lot of fine lines under my eyes, and it's just a mess if I leave it any longer. So I'm going to take my Fit Me powder in the color 240. It's exactly the same shade as my foundation. That looked really dark. And I'm just going to pat it in and then buff it out. And then with any excess powder, I like to just knock it off with my face powder. That way it gives me more of like a flawless type of application. Alright, so I skipped a few steps thinking I was recording, but I obviously wasn't. To bronze up my face, I used the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in Deep Tan. To further contour, I used the Wet n Wild contouring palettes in Dulce de Leche. And then as blush, which I don't know why I did today because I typically don't do blush, I use the Milani Luminoso blush, and it's one of my favorites. I stopped wearing a blush a long time ago because I didn't care for it, but I'm slowly trying to bring it back. So I also did go in and sharpen up my contour because shit got a little bit crazy. So what I'm going to do is just dust it off real quick and blend everything together. And I'm going to move on to the under eye area. Off camera, I went ahead and smoked out my bottom lash line, and I used the Marc Jacobs gel crayon, I think it's called. And then to further smoke it out, I went ahead and used Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, and Love Letter. I typically use all the eyeshadows I used on the top of my lid and crease and everything to smoke out the bottom one, but today I kind of wanted to keep the lower lash line more red and bam in your face. But go ahead and use whatever shades you prefer. You could instead of using a black eyeliner, you could go ahead and add a nude or a white. That will tone it down so much and make it wearable for like work or, you know, just an everyday look. But since I like things a little bit more smoked out, I go ahead and use a black crayon. But go ahead and make this look your own. For the inner corner of the tear duct, I'm going to take Velmer, which is kind of like a pinkish shimmery shade, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this directly into the inner corner of the eye. and I'm gonna blend it upwards into the eyeshadow. Excuse my brush, by the way. This is one of my favorite brushes and my dog chewed it up, so me being a cheap ass, I just decided to tape it back instead of actually buying a new one, because I have to buy a whole set of brushes in order to come and in order to receive this one. It's just like a really flat, really tiny shader brush, perfect for the inner corner, like I said. So I'm gonna grab more Vermeer eyeshadow and pack it into the inner corner of the eye, blending it downwards and up into this eyeshadow. And once I have that blended out nicely, I'm gonna go ahead and add Primavera, which is one of my favorite shades in this palette, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did with the other shade, but try to keep this Primavera shade more inside the corner of the eye instead of blending it outwards. And for the lips, I'm gonna go ahead and add my favorite liquid lipstick at the moment, and it is the Too Faced Cool Girl not melted, their liquid lipstick. I did not apply any chapstick or anything to my lips before filming because I totally forgot about it. So if my lips look really shriveled up and they look like a raisin, excuse that, and that is the reason why it is really important to moisturize your lips before applying a liquid lipstick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rub this all into my lips, and yeah. Not sure why I thought that was the end of my routine for this look, which is not true at all, because I forgot the most important part, which is to highlight. This is Champagne Pop from Becca and Jaclyn Hill. I'm just going to take this on a fluffy brush, and not a fluffy brush, this is a fan brush, and then just apply it to my cheekbones. Sorry the hair's in the way. I had to tie it up because, like I said, it's hot as a mother outside. On the chin, the forehead, and the tip of the nose. Now that my highlight is finally on, I feel a little bit more normal, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this look as much as I enjoy wearing it almost every day. If you did like it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Go follow me on my social media, which is Instagram and Snapchat. I do use Snapchat a little bit more now, so I do a lot more tutorials using the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I also give you guys updates before everybody else, knowing when I'm going to upload, what I'm going to upload. So if you want to see anything behind the scenes, then go ahead and add me there. On Tuesdays, don't forget that I do a segment called Test It Tuesday. So I kind of need your help giving me suggestions on which you guys want to see me try out. So leave it down below in the comment section. And if you are interested in any of the products I use on my face, check the description box below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will talk to you guys on Tuesday. Bye, you guys.